Hello, this is Janet Adams for Bald Eagles Naturally, and I'm here today with another video on questions and answers. Today's questions: does Mr. P and the First Lady have another nest? Can a young eagle lay an egg? And how old are Mr. P and the First Lady? So let's begin by talking about the nest. This is the nest as it appeared on opening day this year, January 17th to 2020. So the question always seems to arise at some point in the season: do Mr. President and the First Lady have a nest somewhere else? According to the American Eagle Foundation, the answer to that question is no. Sue Greeley, who works for the National Arboretum, and Dan Roush, who works for the Department of Energy and Environment, said that they know of no other nests in DC proper besides the ones that are active with eggs or eaglets. I'm taking that to mean that they don't know of any other nests besides the one in the Arboretum and the one at the Metropolitan Police Station, which is a few miles away from the Arboretum. According to some scholars, we know that eagles have a very strong nest site fidelity. In other words, they come back to the same nest and the nesting territory each year. If an eagle's nest becomes too large, the eagles may also build another nest out of necessity in the same nesting territory. Bald eagles may use the same nest annually for as many as 35 years, or they may build additional nests in their nesting territory and alternate the use of them from year to year. Another scholar said that eagles are very faithful to their nesting territory, not necessarily to the actual tree. So, for instance, if a nest were to blow down or the tree fall down, and we've seen that happen at other nests, the birds are likely to build a new nest close to where the previous nest was located. It is also possible that bald eagles will build a new nest if they feel threatened. And it is totally common for eagles to build more than one nest within their nesting territory. David Hancock of Hancock Wildlife is a very renowned bald eagle expert. And in one of his blogs, he answered this question: do bald eagles reuse the same nest year after year? I'm not going to read his answer, but I urge you to stop the video at this point and do read what I have printed here from this blog. And as a side note, I mentioned earlier about site fidelity, and I came across this question that was: do eagles go back to the nest where they were born or to a different nest? And the answer basically said they don't always go back to the exact same nest where they were born because their parents would be hopefully still nesting there. But there is a strong attraction for a bird to return to the territory or area where it was born. The next question is: can a young eagle lay an egg? I'm guessing it would depend on what you mean by a young eagle, but in the resources that I looked at, the times varied anywhere from 3 to 6 years of age. So let's look at this a little closer. According to the Center for Conservation Biology, when does an eagle reach maturity? And they say most eagles begin to breed for the first time in their 5th year. Although we have had birds breeding as young as 3 years old, many individuals may not breed until they are well past 5 years old. The consensus seems to be that a bald eagle between the ages of 4 and 5 are within breeding age. Simply put, sexual maturity for a bald eagle can come when that eagle is ready. It could be from age 3 to age 6. It just depends on that particular eagle. Our last question is, how old are Mr. P and TFL? And the answer to that question is, we don't really know. When a bald eagle gets its white plumage, in other words, the white feathers on its head and the white feathers of its tail, it is presumed that that eagle is about 5 years old when that happens. This picture is taken from the Flickr account of the American Eagle Foundation mods. This picture is from 2016, I believe. On the First Lady, you can see some dark spots on the top of her head and also to the left of her beak. In this picture, look at the dark marks on the left side of Mr. President's head behind his eye. Now, according to the American Eagle Foundation mods, they believe this is an indication that both the First Lady and Mr. President were of a younger age when we first started watching them at the nest. I believe this question gets asked because people are concerned that no eggs are being laid by Mr. President and the First Lady. Bald eagles can, and often do, lay eggs until they die. So age is not a factor for laying eggs. However, a sterile eagle cannot lay eggs or fertilize eggs. And we have also learned that intruders and human disturbances can cause a pair not to lay eggs. Well, that wraps up today's video. I hope this was helpful and educational and enjoyable. Now for my special announcement. I am going to switch over to covering the Southwest Florida nest of Harriet and M15 and their 2 young hatchlings for the rest of the season. If anything happens at the DC nest, I will let you know. I hope you will continue to watch my videos and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you will get notified when a new video is published. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.